Test 1, 2. Oh. All right, today is February the 27th. It's Thursday. For today, so what's happening? Kind of breaking down from a daily chart. We've had a pretty bearish week from like last Friday or even Thursday. All black candles, all bearish candles leading up to essentially right before our next level of sell side liquidity on the daily chart. What I'm seeing right now on the daily is price might push a bit higher to push lower. We do have relative equal lows below us. And we also have sell side here at 941 that may get tagged. So kind of looking into the 1 hour here, you can see here we've got relative equal highs sitting at 457. So this is an area of interest to me for the near term. And then we also have this level here below us as that sell side that I indicated on the daily at 29.3. What is it at 942 essentially. So from a daily perspective, it's really kind of one of two things. We might push into here and then break down and push lower, or price might leave all this, push lower, and then take it up another time. So for today, we're going to be looking at what's going to make more sense. Is it going to be longs or shorts? Both can play out. I think right now I'm leaning more bullish than bearish for the pre-session. And by pre-session, I mean leading up to 9:30, we'll see what the opening range gives us. If we talk about the RTH gap of what we're actually working with today, yesterday's close was at 21,213. And for today, that is going to indicate that it's going to be a bullish or a bullish opening, that we're opening 134 points above yesterday's close. So usually what that means, if we kind of use some ICT rules, is if the RTH gap is above 120 points, this could indicate that price might not actually fill that entire RTH gap today and might just push higher. Okay. So that's kind of factor indicating number one. Number two, checking one thing here. I'm just removing my standard deviations from my midnight open, just to reduce the noise. Option two is, you can see here today in the morning, we had some relative equal lows, 4 and before 7. What price did today is actually it tapped yesterday's Tuesday's first percent fair value gap. It dropped lower. It touched the end dog. But again, this was, a quick trade for today if it's been managed to be catched. But all in all, currently going to wait 7 minutes to see what's going to happen at the open. And we'll play from there. Okay. So with a bullish open, midpoint's going to be around here. The midpoint of the RTH gap. There's a chance that we might fill it and then push higher, but currently I'm waiting what price wants to do for today. Let's see here. An inversion here that we might break above and then use that as possible support for the upside. But I think as of right now, it's going to be a waiting game up until 9:30, and then we'll look at where our first presented fair value gap for the day is, and we'll try to use that for a position. Two minutes open. We got news at 10 o'clock. I think we have two orange folder news today, actually. One is at, let's see here, Forex Factory. One is at 10 a.m. and the other it's just one orange folder news pending home sales at 10 o'clock. Right, so opening range is going to look something like that. Way out here, from the low to the high, it's this green box that has just formed on my charts. I'll be right back. All right, we've opened, we've punched into the RTH gap. Still price is very messy. It's really been consolidating since 9 o'clock. Hasn't done much. We'll have to wait for a bit more to see what price may want to do today. Looking for the breadcrumbs. So price is sitting right now in this. It's essentially a SIBI, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So let me trade that to red there. Once it breaks it, it's going to be an inversion, but it looks like it's price is hanging around in there. It's just butting against the bottom end of the first percent fair value gap of Tuesday. First presentation of a fair value gap on the 15 seconds right here. I don't use that as much anymore, but I will mark it on the chart. Let's see what price is going to do here. Digging into the first presented fair value gap of Tuesday, if it's going to punch through it and invert it and use it as support to push higher. And if it does that, then buy side might be in play. But with such a premium gap opening, price might not even retrace to midpoint. So it hit midpoint of the first presentation of Tuesday. So it's interesting to see on the 15-second price just bouncing off of that first presentation on the 15-second and going higher. The reason why this is not an optimal long is just we're between these below the first presentation of Tuesday, and it's bouncing off of it for the last little while. So longs right now are not an interest. Price is finding minor support here at this first presentation fair value gap of today. We still don't have one on the 1 minute. Price is delivering very efficiently. Oh. Let's see if it's going to break this level right here at this first presentation on Tuesday. You can see here, even the wicks right here are respecting the levels. All right, price bounced off of the 15-second first presentation fair value gap. And it looks like it's going to break the first presentation of Tuesday's fair value gap. And it looks like today's first presented fair value gap might be right there. I'm going to mark this as be like teal. This is today's. In 18 seconds, if this remains open, it just means that we will most likely stay bullish. Or the first one, the fair value gap will be this one right here. Ugh. So punched right above Tuesday's first presented fair value gap and today's first, and it created today's first presented fair value gap. But what it did is it just collapsed right through it. It didn't use it as support really. And that's what we're waiting for. It's to kind of try to go into these levels, not push in, and then push higher. So at this moment, we're still waiting for price to give us something more to trade off of. Price is pushing back into the range. Relative equal highs have formed on the 15-second. Sorry, on the 15-minute right here. So this is like a good interim level to start targeting as it pushes towards these highs that I have marked here above us. Price may be wanting to hit the CE here. let's see how it's going to react to the constant encroachment and the end dog of 227, and maybe even Wednesday's first percent fair value gap. All right, so we got that fill there. This could be the manipulation. I'm thinking just dropping lower for today. And then maybe it might give us a reversal around this area. But what we're waiting for price is to give us confirmation of a decent price run, either up or down, long or short. All right, price is pushing through. It's pushing through the first percent fair value gap of Wednesday. It's probably going to close in the gap fully. If it leaves a portion open, that might be indicative of not fully closing the gap and giving us bullish strength. But with the size of this drop here, it looks like it's probably going to fill. And it filled. Touched the midpoint of the end dog of 227. Still nothing I can really put a trade behind. So the key time I'm going to be waiting for is this one right here from, and let me change this here first percent. This is going to be your macro time from 9:50 to 10:10. I'll have also news kicking in there, so maybe within this window we'll have a bit more clarity on what's gonna unfold. So price right now is digging into this purple bar here is the midnight opening range. If it's going to turn around, I'd want it to turn around from here. I wouldn't want to see it dip lower. And hopefully this body here can stay within the end dog above the consequent encroachment of this midnight opening range. And if that holds true, then this might be the inflection point of it going higher. So it did close below it, but if it's going to close right above it on the next candle, I'll consider that as a rejection. I'm just currently position sizing a possible long here. I do want to see how it's going to reject this end dog. Once the first 15-second candle closes above it, I may just start sizing in a position. But I do want to see this end dog break to the upside. Touch midpoint there. It's currently sitting below yesterday's first presented fair value gap. That's another level I want to see it kind of break. Come back down, take the long. Have my stop maybe below. Right there. Maybe if I see price going up higher and then coming back down, that might be the long there that I might be interested in. But we have to wait for price to give us like a fair value gap, retest it, reject it, like a sign that it wants to move forward. But so far, like right now, what it's doing, it's essentially sitting at the midpoint of this end dog here. I feel like this might be an okay time to get in, but I just want to see a bit more from the market. This would be like a high risk entry, getting in at the midpoint of the end dog. We're about to enter the 950 to 1010 macro. That's where we might see price spool. We can see here, price is just still sitting within this end dog. The candles are still sitting. And it looks like it's pushing lower here. Price right now is retesting the bottom side of the midnight opening range. But this first percent fair value gap here of Wednesday, it is acting as resistance here for us. So I kind of want to see it go up here. Like the moment it breaks this high right here, that's going to be a 1 minute market structure shift. And then that might be an indication to go higher. But we got to wait for price. Okay, so we've entered the macro of 950 to 1010. We got news in 10 minutes as well. So come on, price. Show us your cards here. Take us up. See what the 4 hour looks like. Price could always just drive straight down to these relatively lows here on the sell side, but it's just there's these highs are way too smooth, either from today and also from earlier this week on Monday. It's definitely going to be a target for price, but let's see if it's going to want to do it in this session. We had a bearish fair value gap right here. Price rejected it. Bearish PDA. Still nothing worthy of a trade. Got a bearish order block here, that can invert as well if we do go to the upside. So seeing these levels break, seeing price get above the end dog, that's going to be good. Because imagine going short after such a bearish run here of 230 handles since the open. Something that I'm not interested in. But if it starts breaking down lower, we might try to catch something later on. But we are at an inflection point right now. What price it is? It took a minor sell side right here on the 15-minute. Right. Minor sell side liquidity. That was yesterday's. Was that yesterday's low? Yeah, Wednesday's low at 11 o'clock p.m. It's right before the midnight open. If 8 minutes till news, that might be our catalyst to drive price higher. Okay, next level of sell side is right here. Yeah, not interested in shorts. It definitely is tanking. 21,107. This is also going to be like the midpoint of this gap right here as well. Oh, we've already passed it. What an insane run over the last 4 minutes. 100 bars lower. Okay, price, where are you going to? Got a low here. Price would have to come back to this area, retest it, and then that's when I would take it higher if I am going long. I do have to see all these levels being broken to the upside. But as of right now, no dice. 6 minutes till news. And shorting a market like this away from levels that we have above us, that is on the long term, it's not going to do you any well. They're too clean. But I think sell side here might be a target that, like once we pass this low here on the 1 hour, a last little stretch at our sell side liquidity, I'll probably see that as a high probability trade. As that's going to be the next rate of liquidity, but let's see how it's going to react to the midpoint. Where's the midpoint? So it tested to the midpoint of this candle here. It took sell side. Might turn around from here. It's a level. If not, it's going to continue pushing deeper into 991 or 990. We got another. Okay. This might be an afternoon trade at this point, taking it long. It just surpassed the midpoint of the wick here on the 1 hour. It's creating a lot of civvies on the way to the downside, indicating bearish strength at this point. Let's see if I can position. Okay, so I do think that this is not going to go up anymore. We're in a clear bearish trend. Let's see what it's going to do around this area right here, this inversion. That could be taken lower. I'm going to take a small little short on my end. I have my stop above this fair value gap here. If the price wants to go back up, retest it. If not, it's probably going to drop all the way till the sell side here. And I will break even soon on it once it passes 991 as the next level of sell side. And 43.25. All right, I'm out of my position. Just for like a quick one-to-one. I should have taken it earlier. I think I was just clouded by the fact that I wanted to see it break above this level and go higher. But once it started breaking below the midpoint here, that's when shorts were imminent. That's okay. 230. Did it copy to all my accounts? Okay. Next level that I might start pushing to. Honestly, if you guys are still in shorts, I don't know. The next one's, we have a couple levels. Just looking at the 1 hourly. If it decides to push another, what, 250 points, but I don't know if it's unlikely, but it's just a lot of sell side that has to push with one fellow super momentum. We just had news kick in right now. Wonder if we're gonna get a rejection to the upside here, or is it gonna continue to drop? So all these levels that I have marked here on the daily, these are possible sell side liquidities that it might take, but I really don't think it will. That's a lot more juice it needs to take out those relative equal lows below us, and we still have juicy highs above us as well. Here's the 1 hour here. Attacked all this liquidity. Let's see if it's gonna want to do something with this level here. So here is another bearish fair value gap. We're entering the last couple of minutes of the macro. Price right now is pushing into the mean threshold of this sell side imbalance. If price isn't going to get above the midpoint here of the SIBI, it's probably going to take out the low here. But the moment it pushes a bit higher and through it, it might possibly start reversing to the upside here. But you're going to be entering, if price continues to drop for the next 1 hour, I will be looking for longs at the lunchtime macro between 10:50 to 11:30 and onwards. This is going to be really good price action to long in the future. So the criteria for lunchtime macro is technically it's after 11:30. Once you see displacement, you are targeting the first high formed after 10 a.m. based on ICT checks. Okay. The price is most likely going to invert this fair value gap here that the 10 o'clock has formed. And once it gets above here, let's see how it's going to react to this bearish fair value gap here. If it's going to close above it and then it come back down, retest the midpoint, and if it's going to want to take price higher. Hindsight speaking, once it broke this end dog here that you see above of 226, once it actually failed to get above it and close below with a fair value gap, I think that was the entry, the 950 entry. For like a perfect entry to going short and trying to null the idea that it's going to go higher. Yes, that's some lessons learned for me, from my end. Curious how this fair value gap here is going to hold. So far, the bodies are staying within it. The wicks poking above it, that's completely acceptable. So price is still sitting within this SIBI here. The move for today has happened in the morning. It's this, how many handles was it? 400 handles to the downside. And usually when it comes to fair value gaps, like this is kind of what you want to see, like touch and display something like this, where you've got multiple closes in a fair value gap. It's indicating that the bearish move or the bullish move may be starting and the bearish move is weakening. Like, would I short it here? I wouldn't. We just took sell side. And it could invert this. So look at price 5 more minutes till 10:15. If not, I'll close down the stream. I just want to see how it's going to react to this. But so far, this I'm not liking too much. Oh, hey, Claris. Oh, nice. Took 2 trades on this pullback after the 4 hours of the previous 4 hour lows, making 340. Nice. Good job. That's what I like to see. Pulling money from the markets, boys and gals. Price. What are you gonna do here? Like if it does retrace, how high can it go? This is gonna be probably like a level I might target. Right? It's gonna be oops. This right here. Like that might be like a quick, easy trade, just fill in some of that fair value gapness to the upside before it tries pushing lower. This is also the next 5-minute fair value gap too. This level. But this I'm not liking. And if it's going to continue doing this for the next 5 minutes, we'll just let it go. Close the day on a win and call it that. This is probably going to be an inversion. I don't know if I want to long it from here. I'm not in love with this. Let's see if it's going to kind of come out and how it's going to respect it to the downside. So it just closed above it right now. And let's see if it's going to kind of come back down, retest it. Like there's a fair value gap right here. If that stays open, it comes back down and retests it, we might go long. Bullish PDA. Like a 2-to-1. It would be nice for it to come back down to this fair value gap and at least touch it. I'm going to see on the 15-second how it's going to react to it as well. On the 5-minute, it's still very bearish. If you guys have a 5-minute chart and you guys map the SIBI that it's rejecting right now, it's definitely a negative confluence factor. The anticipation would be it's going to break through it and go higher. But let's see what it's going to do to this fair value gap here. Take a little small long here for half risk. $100 stop loss. And let's target 47. I'm going to target here. What am I targeting? 75. It's going to be the easiest target. So my long is like that. I took it a bit late. My stop is right there. And my target's there. It's a 1-to-1. All right, and I'm out. Cool. Quick little win. Two for two, guys. Up, what, 300 against 5 accounts, 1.5K for today. Not bad. Maybe I could have held it, to be honest. It could push higher, but it's the 5 minutes looking ugly for shorts. Sorry, for longs. So that's kind of why. Do this. Okay. All right, guys. Listen. Am I going to take a third trade for today? Most likely not. Do I want to trade? We're entering 10:30, and I'm starting to build strict rules for myself to not try to trade after 10:30 and to close all positions by 10:30. I'm just trying to become a more disciplined trader. But on that note, guys, if you enjoy this stream, feel free to drop a like. I'd appreciate that. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow at 9:15. Thanks, everyone. And I hope you guys have a healthy and happy Thursday.